So everybody's talking about the 40-hour, sometimes 48-hour work week and why it's starting to fail. Why people are starting to realize that you cannot keep on trading time for money. And I couldn't agree more. As a person that's working overnight from 11:30, basically 11 p.m. every single day to 7:30 a.m. in the morning, I can confidently tell you that this shit does not make any sense anymore. It doesn't make any sense to work these hours anymore. Why? Because then you get the money. As a person that actually was broke before going full-time at this job, you get the money and then realize all you're doing is saving. In the meantime, your body is starting to get fucked up. You're starting to have a lot more health issues. You're starting to take care of your physical and your mental health a lot less. And all of those things take a back seat, a back pedal. They all start to get deprioritized in prioritization of what your company or what the system wants for you rather than what you want for yourself, right? So what I'm trying to pose, the question I'm trying to pose is at what point do we change? What point do we get to say, yo, this shit don't make no sense anymore. We need to change our mode of thinking. At what point do you say, maybe I don't need as much money, maybe I need a little bit of my time back to enjoy the things that I like within this life, and then maybe find out different, more innovative ways to make money? Because the old guard way of doing things just doesn't work anymore, not for me at least. It's starting to get taken over by stuff like people making money through crypto and investments and content creation. So now we're moving into a world in which not everybody has to work, but now you can be a creator and provide for yourself, which is what I do on this platform, right? So my biggest thing going forward is actually teaching people and showing people that there's a different way to do this shit rather than working fucking 50 hours a week and being a slave and feeling dead for most of these days. Because long term, this shit just doesn't work out. You could come to this conclusion now and then change your life now rather than wait 10 years and be like, damn, maybe I didn't need money as much. But it's only going to work if you're starting to realize how this money thing and how the market works in terms of you as a consumer. Because you could work a job and then, have money and you're saving it. But if you're constantly spending money on things like car payments, eating out every single day, the luxury sort of aspects of life, luxurious items, it's not going to work for you, right? So this is only going to work if you're able to say you can do without for most of these extravagant things. It's not going to work all the time for you if you're just spending your money when you get it, because then you become a slave to it, right? It's like I have a phone in my pocket right now and I just dropped it yesterday doing some stupid shit. I want to replace the phone now, but should I replace the phone knowing that I might have to get back that money with basically another month's worth of work? It's like, no, I'd much rather invest that money and maybe save it and maybe just deal with the fact that my phone is broken a little bit just to know I have that money that I could spend on something else. Maybe an experience, maybe saving or investing it, maybe putting it into the market. That makes a lot more sense than worrying about my phone that's in my pocket. Because the phone in reality is just going to be cope for the job. It's like you could be working overnight like me, organizing shit, right? And then be like, yeah, well, I'm at this job, but at least I have this nice shiny new iPhone 17 Pro Max in my hand. It's like, no, I'd much rather prioritize having a better life than having better things. I don't care about how my life looks to other people. I care about how my life feels, right? And it's not going to feel good if I continue to work these 46-hour work weeks in which I don't have time. Because I'll tell you this, when I had $200 in my bank account every month, like a year ago before I went full-time at this overnight job, I was a lot happier. I was doing YouTube a lot more. I was actually able to sort of have a life. Now, did I take life a lot less seriously back then? Yes. But at least now, or at least back then, I could have had a lot more time to worry about enjoying life a lot more. And I don't know how I was paying rent, making that much money a week. And I never missed the rent payment, which was wild. But, it just goes to show sometimes all that glitters isn't gold, both in terms of having the money and then having the time. So what I'm really trying to say is balance is key. You need balance in order to live this life properly. And also we must start to innovate in how we want our lives. Like we must do things differently if we want different. Working all these hours don't make sense. Like if you're okay with a certain amount of money and you can make money outside of the job, then you're doing amazing. But if you have to sort of go to the job and always worry about making that paycheck and making ends meet, that's where you're fucked up. You're going to be in a lot of people's position in which you're not able to take days or just maintain. And some people are just maintaining, right? Some people are just working to make ends meet and be able to survive and pay rent. But if you are in a position in which you can make a little bit of money, maybe work part-time and, you know, have some days off in which you're working on your own business, your own side hustle, or your own art form, whether that's YouTube, you're creative, whatever. It is much more worthwhile to do that because tomorrow isn't promised. That's something that I'm starting to realize. Tomorrow is not promised at all. Especially living in the US, all of this entire infrastructure is so just like fragile. And then one day, just like that, it could be all done with and just changed. So if you want to sort of safeguard yourself against these things, we must start to innovate. We must start to be a little bit better in how we're thinking about living this life, because just making the money isn't worth it anymore. I came to the conclusion, like, I don't even care about money. I know I'll make rent every month. I know I'll have money to save every month. But where the real money for me is going to come is through this camera right here, me talking to you guys. This is my out. You just need to find yours. Whether it's the same thing like content creation or making a business or a side hustle, the 40-hour work week just doesn't make any sense. It's all fucked up. My message to anybody out there that's watching this video is create. You creating something that's yours and sustainable will help you live the life you want to live and be the person that you want to be. Because up until that point, you will always be at the whim of your environment and the people you work for. The system does not give a fuck about you, and the system is not going to outright ask if you have dreams and ambitions. The system is in place for you to be a part of it and keep it rolling, right? If you want to break out of the system and start to do things and break the status quo, you need to at least try. You need to at least throw yourself off of the ledge. Because if you don't jump, you're gonna die right there. I don't see myself being here way too long. After seeing that money and opportunity exist within YouTube, I want my time back. My time is the thing that matters the most. Without the time, you don't have time. You don't have opportunity to manifest the things you want within this life. Time is the thing that matters the most. This is my thoughts as an overnight stalker at a regular retail job. You guys let me know what you think. Peace.